Well, thoughts about being 2-0. You guys been in this position before, but how different is the approach now? Todd had talked about there has been some struggles after the 2-0 starts in the past.
Yeah, I mean, we're only human, so of course it's a big win, and we are going to feel the emotion of that, but we also know it's a long season. And we finished 2-0 last year, and we all saw what happened. So the leadership on this team has just been keeping us together and keeping us grinding, staying humble, and focusing on Broncos.
You hear about parity in the NFL. Last week, I guess, was a perfect example. Half the teams were underdogs that won straight out. Does that help you block looking ahead to a team like Philadelphia you have in 2 weeks, opposed to facing a team that's 0-2?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get through the day. Like, I'm not looked into the future or anything like that. So, and I think the team has a really good pulse with that as well. So we're just focusing on the Broncos. I don't even know who we play 2 weeks from now.
And speaking of focusing on the Broncos, going up against Josh Reynolds, what do you see from him and that matchup? What do you like about that matchup?
Yeah, I mean, we played him last year. He was on the Lions, so we're kind of familiar with that. He has some good route running, and Bo Nix, he can throw a deep ball. So as corners, we're just going to stay on top and let them beat us.
Zyon, Coach said that Jordan was arguably the MVP of the defense last week. How much did he help you, and how much of a quarterback in the secondary was he?
He's a leader, and y'all don't hear what he's talking about in the huddle, but he's keeping everybody focused, he's keeping everybody up, and he just plays with a different motor. In the fourth quarter, he had more energy than he did in the first quarter, and he does a really good job of keeping guys up with energy.
So, you talked about leading this team with 6 interceptions this year. That's your goal. You got one. You almost had 2, but Amon-Ra St. Brown played DB. What were your thoughts on getting your first pick, and also just the opportunity to get a couple others that almost missed on?
Yeah, it's just the start. I want to get 6, of course, so it makes me even more excited to get the next one. And, whenever your ball is finding you, you're doing good things. And so I'm just going to continue to be in the right spots and let the ball find me. I'm not focused out there trying to make too much plays. I'm just doing my job and letting the game come to me.
Does it open your eyes seeing that Nix has thrown 4 picks already, leads the NFL in most interceptions?
I mean, it lets me know that the opportunity is out there. So if we just focus on being where we're supposed to be, then the ball could find us. Like I said, he is a rookie and he's still learning and he's getting better. And so us as a defense, especially a defense that likes to disguise and likes to fly around, we have an opportunity.
When you win a game like that in another place, it's kind of a backyard brawl. The secondary was so physical and so good. What does that do for your confidence? That you can go into a place like that and get it out?
It does everything for our confidence. I mean, we're already a confident group, and we're always going to shoot for the skies, but when you actually go out there and execute and everything works and falls your way, it lets you know that everything that you were doing is correct. So we're just going to go out this next week of practice and do everything that we've been doing, continuing to grind, continuing to treat it like it's camp, and continuing to get better.
And for you personally, when you know that moment as a defensive back and you got to jump around, if you go back a year or two, how has that changed for you in terms of your confidence level? Now you might not.
It's night and day. I mean, my rookie year, trying to jump routes, I was always scared. I was always fearful. I didn't necessarily trust myself. But now that I know that I have the coach's trust, I have my teammates' trust, and now I'm starting to trust myself, I can really know what I see from film, and when I see it out there in the game, just go for it.
How much does this team feed off just Baker being loose out there and kind of free-flowing, just a fun guy to be in the huddle with?
Baker is like the epitome of a Buccaneer, for example. I mean, he's a guy who has an energy. He always a really good leader, but he plays with a certain swag that just spills off onto everybody else. I mean, when I see him and he pops out a run, it makes me want to go out there and just fly through a brick wall. So having him as our quarterback and our leader, we have the right person sailing the ship.
He had mentioned, too, that, Tom was always businesslike and that, maybe the guys were stressed out playing in that environment with him. Just, there's such a demand to win all the time. But he came in and kind of loosened up the team with just his personality. Did you sense that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Baker is a guy who, makes me feel like I'm back in college, you know what I mean? He's just one of the guys, and he's so relatable, and he talks to everybody, defense, offense, specialists. He's just a guy's guy. He's a friend, he's somebody that you can turn to. And so in the fourth quarter, and things are tough and we got situations, he's a guy I can look to kind of center, control everything, and make everything seem a little bit easier than it actually is.
Zyon, you both said that your tackling, working on that and improving there. What have you worked on? And also said there was a lot more difference in training camp this year. I felt like you were going to start the season off stronger just off this training camp. How did it work with you improving and tackling and also training camp?
Yeah, tackling. I mean, in the offseason, me and my brother, we tackle each other without pads. Like, we were like, we got to take it back to rugby. If I'm going to get good at tackling, then let me do it without the pads. And so just doing that and believing in it, doing it repetitively over and over and over again, not getting bored with the basics, kind of just leads to success.
Did the technique change kind of in the way that you were attacking fundamentals-wise?
Yeah, I'd say it's a technique. I mean, it was never a fear thing. It was always technique. And so being able to keep my feet as long as I can is really what's been helping me.
You say you and your brother were tackling each other?
Each other,
Like
yeah.
constantly?
Like one-on-ones, like Oklahoma drill, just one-on-one against each other.
Without helmets and pads?
No helmets and pads.
You got video of this? I gotta see this.
No, it's just me and him. We just find the field and, we go into a day just working on the things that we know that we're worst at. He knows how to get me and I know how to get him. And so because we know how to attack each other's weaknesses, when we go out there just one-on-one with each other, I mean, that's all we're doing. It's just targeting our weaknesses.
Who's the
Tell
winner?
Bowles you were doing this?
I could say I get him more than he gets me, for sure.
Coach was okay with this?
They don't even know about that, but
You say you don't know who you play after this game, but you're facing your brother.
yeah, I know. I call him a lot, so he reminds me often that they're going to be coming into town. And he plays a lot of NFC South teams, so there's a lot of parity, like you were talking about, and familiarity. So that's exciting. I'm ready to get after it, especially to get after him. But for now, Broncos all the way.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it.